I'm here to take a dump on a streamer by the name of Hutch. Let me start out by saying that I believe in voting. I believe that voting should be mandatory. I think everyone in the country should have voted for Bernie Sanders in both primaries, and when he did not receive the nomination, I believe everyone should have voted for Clinton or Biden. I have roasted those that have refused to do the latter, but I have not paid enough attention to those that refuse to do the former, and that's where this guy Hutch comes in. There seems to be some confusion over who the Democratic Party belongs to.
The reason why people are getting so fired up about this is because we're having a bit of what you might call a moment on the left right now. We're having a bit of a moment in left-wing politics right now. And what is happening is the left flank of the country know that they cannot win elections on their own. Like, they can't build a coalition big enough by themselves to take on Republicans.
Where was your coalition in 2016, Hutch, or in 2024? 74% of Bernie voters voted for Clinton. Maybe the people who stayed at home were the people who couldn't vote for a woman. In other words, conservatives like yourself. As I said, I'm a big fan of mandatory voting. And one thing I enjoy about mandatory voting is that countries that have mandatory voting tend to lean left when it comes to elections, because the majority of the voters everywhere are working class. And most people vote in their own interests. Most sane people vote in their own interests. And that's the constituency. Where's yours, Hutch? The 66% of people that support a public health care system, the 80% who support paid family leave, the 68% who support unions, that's the coalition. Bernie Sanders is still the most popular sitting politician in America. The coalition has been idle, waiting for somebody worth supporting.
Like, they can't build a coalition big enough by themselves to take on Republicans. But they also hate Democrats. And so what they've been trying to do for a really long time is a hostile takeover of the party.
This narrative is all over the internet, but there is no hostile takeover of the Democratic Party, because the hostile takeover already happened in the 90s by the likes of Hutch, who seems to want to convince his audience that the Democratic Party began with Bill Clinton, when in fact the Democratic Party was an economic populist party 100 years before crime Bill Clinton, the deregulator-in-chief. What's actually happening is that traditional New Deal Democrats are cleaning house. I don't even know why guys like this call themselves liberals or Democrats. Hutch told me right to my face on Twitter that he hoped Graham Plattner would lose. Now he's going after Dr. Abdul in Michigan, acting as if he's a doctor, like a can of Dr. Pepper is a doctor. Like, he's saying he's not even a doctor. Like, his credentials are fake. As a candidate, Bernie Sanders had a better chance of winning than Hillary Clinton or Harris. But did Hutch support him? It's a good question. I don't think he did. I think he would rather a Republican win than a real-life, genuine FDR Democrat. It's no wonder that Hutch shares the opinion of Nancy Pelosi and Obama in their wish for a a strong Republican Party. Those two, Obama and Pelosi, they want Republicans because they want to do a lot of talking and a little less doing. Hutch wants Republicans because I'm guessing he's a Republican. The other day I heard Hutch talking about activists spitting on soldiers returning from Vietnam. Roger Ebert famously put out a challenge for anyone to produce an image or a single eyewitness testimony proving that this ever actually happened, and no one could, because it was an urban legend created by the Nixon administration. What the fuck, dude? Since the end of Reconstruction, the GOP has been a corporatist, laissez-faire organization whose goal is to shrink the government to the size where they can drag it into a bathroom and drown it in a tub. Their words, not mine. Why would you want anyone involved in government whose entire declared mission is to destroy the government? The Republican Party was anti-democratic long before Donald Trump, and I don't care how much they talk about free speech. Jared Fogle will tell you that he loves kids, but you wouldn't let him manage your daycare center now, would you? These people tried to violently overthrow the United States government. They need to be outlawed as a party. No fascist should be legally allowed access to the levers of power in a democracy. And Dinos, like Hutch, need their own party. By the way, I coined that term Dino 15 years ago, meaning anti-worker Democrats. I'm trademarking it, and anyone who uses it without the proper acknowledgement will be charged a massive fee, and I will be charging double for those two moron shopping mall employees over at the Vanguard.